I've wanted to record this video for a long time, and I figured I finally would. Just because I know I'm going to say things I probably shouldn't say, but I need to vent, so I may as well make this. This is going to be like my end of 2015. Brush it away, because this was like a horrible year. Every year you hear people say like, good riddance to this year, I can't wait for it to be like blah 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 blah, and like I've never really done that, but this year definitely. It started off good, like I tried to make little notes because I don't want this to be super long. I think like in February, that was when Steven got, or was it January? It was like January into February, Steven got super sick for like a month straight. And then in April, we went to Florida, which that was fine aside from like our little mishap with the plane going down there. Because we had missed our connecting flight, and then it was horrible turbulence. He said like that was the worst that I could possibly experience. Like, he's been on tons of planes. He said that was the worst he's ever experienced, and that was my first time flying, so I feel like I can handle it now. And then when we got back, we all had colds because a lady on the plane was sick, and I was like, oh great, I know we're gonna get sick from this. So by the time we got back, all three of us were sick. Steven was sick again, and me and Aiden both had a head cold, so it wasn't like a super bad thing, but Steven ended up losing his job. He worked at Home Depot for like 4 years, almost 5, and he had no sick time left, and he called out sick, and that was, to make a long story short, that really sucked. So he fell into a rut of like working for through temp agencies. Like, they would find him a job and then it would only last so long. So this entire year he's had now 7 jobs, and that has been really hard on us. But thank God he just started last week at a place that's not a temp agency. It's a really good job. He's making more money and he likes the place so far. So like, to end the year on an up note is good. But that was really hard because the last place that he worked at before this one laid him off right before Thanksgiving. So that was like stress trying to figure out how we were going to do the holidays and everything. I just had lipstick all over my teeth. I don't feel like refilming this. The beginning of this anyways. So to try and keep in line with everything. For those who don't know, we live with Steven's grandma, and I am not happy with my living situation right now, for the simple fact that he has an aunt that is like a straight up thief. She has a very long list of arrests and shit from Florida because she lived down there. In April, no, it wasn't in April, it was in June, she ended up taking his grandma's credit card, maxing out 10 grand on it. And his grandma is way too forgiving. I was like, if this happened in my family, they would be like friggin' disowned. So nothing ever happened with that. And then she's the type of person that like, she'll come in the house and she'll stay for like 2 freaking weeks, make a huge mess, expect like me to clean it up. Has no problem stealing from her own mother, so I'm like petrified to leave the house if she's here. And then her son is not much, her son's even worse. He's a friggin', I don't want her to hear me talking, so I'm trying to figure out where his grandma is. But her son's a heroin addict, has been in and out of rehab. Like, I'm all for giving people second chances, but these people have done this multiple times. So in August, her son snuck in through the back door. Me, Steven, and Aiden were taking a nap, and I woke up because I heard Aiden, and I heard him up there talking to his grandma. So I'm like, oh god, because it's bad enough when they're here, but never mind when I don't know that they're here. So as soon as he heard me go out there, he's like, okay, Grandma, I gotta go. He took off out the back door again, and he doesn't have a license, he can't drive, he's not allowed to drive because of all the shit he's done. He's got an even longer laundry list of things than his mother. And I looked out the window and there was like, he must have had someone waiting out there for him because there was no sign of him. So I woke Steven up and I was like, your cousin was just here, and things, like, it didn't seem right. Just the way he took off like that. So because of that first credit card stint with his aunt, I had put all of his grandma's credit cards on fraud alert. The next morning, I started getting emails from Chase asking, are you the person making these charges? Is this you? We put a hold on your credit card because so many purchases have been attempted over the past few hours. So I called Steven and I was like, either your aunt has it again or your cousin took the card last night because I'm getting fraud alerts now. So I mean, I had a feeling it was him anyways because of the night before, and his grandma ended up calling the aunt, asking her, did you take my card again, blah, 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 and she swore up and down it wasn't her, that she'd take her to the police station the next day to get them to look at security cameras and stuff, because I mean, I had the list of all the stores that they were trying to make charges at. So it was like, okay, they're gonna find one of you on the camera. So then they went to the police station. The cop came to the house the next day with like the security footage and pictures and everything of Steven's cousin using the credit card to try and buy gift cards, like hundreds of dollars worth of shit at Walgreens and stuff. And then like a couple weeks went by, his grandma didn't want to press charges. And I was so aggravated with that because I'm just like he needs to be thrown in jail and taught a freaking lesson, because all the times they got arrested in Florida, him and his mother, they just get like a slap on the wrist. I don't understand. Like they did the last one that she was down there for, that she ended up running up here to get away from, was she broke into someone's car and stole shit. But yeah, I don't like the fact that he's supposedly in rehab again right now, but I don't know how long that's gonna last, and I don't want either one of them here, and I really have no say because it's not my fucking house. So yeah, that's just stresses me out on a daily basis, and I do not like this whole situation. I would have rather, like, thinking back on it now, we should have just stayed at the apartment because I don't know, we thought this was going to be a better situation to be able to save money for our own house, and then a situation came up where Steven's dad wants this to be our house one day, but I don't know if I can wait that out because it's stressing me out. And then his grandma ended up having to go to get tests done and stuff, and they found like scar tissue on her lungs, and the doctor said that it's probably not best to have pets. So you may notice that we don't have Izzy in our videos anymore, and I'm gonna start crying, and I don't want to start crying. It's not completely horrible because she's at my grandma's house. She's with, my uncle took her, he lives with my grandma, so she's with another dog, she's with Zelda. I can see her whenever I want to, but it's kind of like, I don't like being without a pet. The whole year we were in the apartment was like the first year of my life that I haven't had a dog or a cat, and it was like, ugh, I couldn't stand it. So I really hate that. I hate not having a dog. And then, I want to say it was like a week or two after we got rid of Izzy, I ended up going to the hospital because I was having chest pains and like freaking myself out because bad hearts run in my family. See, this is why I didn't want to make this video. My mom died from heart disease. My grandma has heart disease, but she's got it like under control. I'll get to that in a minute. And I was having chest pains like on and off for a couple of days, and I was freaking myself out, and it started getting to where like my hands were going numb. I was getting all tingly in my legs and stuff, and I was like, Steven was like, I'm gonna take you to the hospital, and this was like 3 o'clock in the morning one night, so we woke poor Aiden up, we all went to the emergency room. Thankfully there was no one there, I got right in. They did all kinds of tests on me, they hooked me up to the heart monitor and did an EKG, they did all kinds of blood work. They can never get my veins, so I mean, I had one in my hand, I had one in here, and there was just bruises everywhere. And after all that, I wouldn't say diagnosed me with anxiety because I still have to go to my regular doctor, but they said it was pretty much an anxiety attack, which I've never like gone through that before. I've never had an attack like that before, so aside from going on the Batman roller coaster in Six Flags when I was younger, but that was just like pure fear from roller coasters because I freaking hate roller coasters. So that was that, and now I have to deal with that, and it's been okay so far. Like the next day, it happened again, and I think that was just because I was like mentally, I can see how people that deal with anxiety constantly, it messes with you, because I was like, I didn't want to leave the house. I'm like, what if this happens to me when I'm out shopping or something? I was having a fit. So thankfully, this was right before Thanksgiving that this happened. It was before Steven got laid off. So I had the anxiety attack, Steven got laid off, and then right after that, it was the day after Steven got laid off, my uncle called me and told me my grandma had a minor heart attack and she was in the hospital. So that freaked me out. They did all kinds of tests on her. They had her in the hospital for a few days. They had to do some kind of like a catheter in her heart to figure out what they were going to do, if they had to put a stent in it or something, because years ago, before she had her breast cancer ordeal, she had open heart surgery and she had a quintuple bypass. So that was like massive, major surgery, and like I said, heart problems in my family. So she ended up being okay. It was just a minor heart attack, thank God, because we couldn't deal with more stuff this year. And she's been doing okay. They put her on she has to take blood thinners now, like my grandpa already does, and some other medicine that was making her sick to her stomach at first, but she's doing okay with it now, thankfully. And then like the final blow, because I'm filming this on New Year's Eve, the day before yesterday, Steven called me from his new job. He lost his car keys. Couldn't find them anywhere. He thinks they fell out on a truck that they were unloading, and that truck could be anywhere in America now because it goes all around the friggin' country. So he had no car keys. It was the first night that we got snow. It was freezing out, and it had just been like warm the day before. We only have one car. I couldn't get the second set of keys to him. He had the car seat, so even if I had another car, I couldn't take Aiden with me to go. So we were trying to call a locksmith. They're all so expensive, like ridiculously expensive. We finally got one out there. He charged us $94.50 to unlock the door. His grandma was like adamant that there was another set of keys in the glove box, which they were for her old car. So it was just the guy that came out to unlock the door and not the guy that like will actually make you a key on the spot, and that guy was 2.5 hours away. So we were like freaking out because he had already been waiting outside for like 3 hours while we were trying to figure out what to do, and it was going to be another $160 to have a key made if he waited 2.5 hours for the guy to come out there. So I had my bright idea, which I kicked myself for not thinking of earlier, of using Uber just to get him home, and that only cost $39. So he came home, and then he took, yesterday was his day off, and then this morning he took another Uber back to work with the spare key, so now he has the car again. So this has just been like, oh, such a shitty year. And I'm hoping that 2016 will be better. So I hope you guys enjoyed my little why 2015 sucked for me. But let's pray that 2016 is better, because I can't deal with another year like this. So that's it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will talk to you in my next video. And I'm surprised this camera made this whole time. I will talk to you next time.